And they hold only about 10 people. They're very tiny, so you might want to have very small discussion groups there. In fact, let me do this. Let me divide this, and you can put 2 in, or leave them open for that matter. Stage, green room. We have the outside foyer, that's upstairs, and we have the same downstairs. There are numbers here with approximately the number of people that we think will fit there. We have the outside terrace, but it's not raining, obviously, which is actually really nice. And we have that sort of back of the auditorium. It's not ideal for small groups, but if there's need for space, we can make it work. You just have to sort of twist a little in your chairs to actually face each other. So we have plenty of spaces. We have 3 time slots that we have allocated for breakout sessions. The first one is now. The second one, 3 to 4 in the afternoon. And then at the end of the day, before we come all back together as a big group. So you get the idea and how this is going to work. I'm going to give a little overview of some of these M for Change projects that we've been observing and some of the critical issues, sort of kind of continue on what Usha started and going into a little deeper, focusing somewhat on health because that's an area where there's a lot of growth. There's lots of others of you. Many of you already suggested as you signed up what you wanted to talk about. So I'm going to draw on you because I know you are willing to lead a conversation. To kind of put down a catchy title, probably catchier than I have. Walk up there and find yourself a space. I'm going to ask you to do the same. And for that matter, anybody else of you who has a session idea, has expertise, has questions, would like to discuss a particular topic. You do not need to know. You do not need to be an expert in it. You can talk about the project. You can talk about some critical questions that we raised earlier. We have plenty of markers right here and plenty of post-its. Mira, I'm so glad to meet you. So will you just stick it up there? And then I'm going to ask you to say, once we have the sort of first time slot filled, I'm going to ask everybody who's leading a session to give a 1-sentence plot of why you should come. You know, do one? Excellent. All right, so, this is a free-for-all. We will have more sessions than we have time and room for because you are an amazing crowd. Okay, so it sounds like we even have more space than we... No? Okay, I see. So the downstairs foyer is space 1 and 2. And how do we know which is which? Outside foyer? Okay. What else do we have? We have health. Healthcare?
Hello. Is there anything more glamorous than health? What is a bit boring? I just want to kind of know from you people, how do you design mobile applications for healthcare in different setups, like to reach healthcare professionals, to consumers directly, or to patients, whatever it is, in rural areas, in urban areas, in different areas. So it's just that maybe we could have a group to rock it out and see how this would be helpful in healthcare. I guess it would be great. And again, there are components of it where you can make a profit, for profit, and then some components like surveillance and health promotion is completely not for profit, unfortunately. So how do we use mobile healthcare for all these areas? I guess it is downstairs foyer. Right?
In the downstairs foyer.
Yeah, that's right.
And after Celsius, actually, like, kind of hang on, because we have actually a bunch of different sessions in healthcare. So you may very well have more throughout the day. Continue on.
Hi. It's probably along the lines that so I put them in the same session. I think there is an overlap to a great extent, right? So we are looking at how ICT, so one of our projects, how ICT and including mobile phones, or mobile technology as well, mobile phones can be used for behavior change communication in actually reproductive child maternal healthcare, but that's the content really.
And I would encourage you to,
If you feel like you have more than one session, is to start out together, but it's perfectly fine for you to continue on part 2 in the afternoon. So not to cut conversations short, but to really have a good discussion on this. Because I think between the two of you, there's probably, and many others probably, there's so much there just on healthcare that it's completely worth having more than one session.
Hi, my name is Sean from Bobbyjob. We'll talk a little bit about what we've been doing in the informal sector space on phones. So we're a company that's specifically focused on how do you make the market efficient for informal sector labor in India, i.e., how do you get drivers and cooks and security guards and access to better jobs. And we've been doing this for a while now. We've got 50,000 people and 250,000 jobs, and we signed up with 3 carriers. And so, one, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the technology stack that we've made. There's a voice component, there's a call center component, there's an SMS component, there's a WAP component and a web component. And I think as you're looking at these things, it's worth looking broadly around the trade-offs that comes with each one of those. And then secondly, I was thinking I could talk a little bit about the technologies that we see that have actually reached a certain amount of scale in India. There's a presentation that I put together before that, and there are some players that have gotten above 5 million users. And I think it's interesting to look at the models that each of them have adopted. Some of those are government focused, some of those are for-profit focused, some of those are working in conjunction with the carriers. And I think if you really want to think about how do you make a solution that's going to reach that many people, there are some lessons out there that we can take from. That's it. And then I think I'm on the auditorium now.
Is the stack open source?
Is it what?
Is the stack?
No, I worked at Microsoft for 9 years, and we what we I do.
That's what I asked.
But we pay. We'll get it now.
it sounds like you're going to be on the stage, debating and discussing.
My name is Vishwa, like I said, I'm from Mindtree. Basically, I'm into communication technologies, data communication and technology, so around 14 years experience there. But my interest is purely into healthcare. So I think there are more courses there. So I'm going to talk about technology angle from how can you monitor chronic health diseases from home. More of an access technology and mobile technology combined together, and some little bit of healthcare IT. So we can get there's a couple of interests already. So we can get together in a single room. So there's a similar interest.
Okay, I'm going to give you help on 2 for the afternoon because there is so much more than you can do in an hour right there. What will the use by low middle population?
Okay, so I am Indrani Methi. I work in this group called Technology for Emerging Markets at Microsoft Research India. And we've been doing some research looking at how low-literate, low-income populations actually use mobile phones. I mean, we've been talking about, you just said 4-point-something billion phones, but how are people actually using these phones? Because what we found in our research is that people mainly use phones for voice calls only. So in that case, if people are not using phones for asynchronous communication like text, so how do you design for such users? So I'll be talking about user needs and motivations, how people are using phones currently, what are they using phones for. We've done research across 4 countries, India, Philippines, Kenya, South Africa, looking at less than $200 income folks using phones. I'll be talking about. Please come by and thanks.
Upstairs.